Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to install Comfyui super fast, easy, and this should be a short, I'm hoping this will be a short video, but it's going to be Comfyui+Manager, and how to set up something to start Comfyui without having to run CMD all the time. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into this video. The first thing we're going to do, you're going to need a couple pre-requirements, which is going to be, we're going to need Git. So you just want to go to Git. Oh my god. Can I spell? Git, right? And it's going to be the first link here, git/scm. You're going to install the one for your Windows. There's plenty of tutorials on how to do this on YouTube. It's super easy. It's very straightforward. And then once you install Git, then you want to go ahead and move over to, just go back to Google or something, right? Whatever it is. And then you want to type in Python 310, 310.11. So this is the one I use for Comfyui. This is the one I use for Koya SS and AI tools and all that stuff. So basically, you just want to come down here. You want to go here and install the Windows 64 if you got a newer computer, which most people have nowadays anyways. So go ahead and install that. Once you got those installed, then you guys are ready to move on to the next step, which is going to the Comfyui GitHub. So Comfyui, hit enter. It's going to be the first link here. So what we want to do, we're not going to install the portable version because a portable version is just so much extra garbage in it that you don't even need. Um, Basically, if you're going to install this into your own computer, whatever your main computer, doesn't even matter. You just want to copy this link right here. This is basically saying I want to copy Comfyui. This is basically saying I want to install Comfyui. So once we get that link, we want to go ahead and look for our subdirectory. Where do we want to install Comfyui, right? So here's where I'm going to install mine. Mine's going to be under the AI stuff, folder on the desktop. I don't know. It's up to you where you put yours. And I want to make a Comfyui directory. How do I do that? Well, basically, we're going to click on the search bar up top here. Then we're just going to type in CMD for command prompt. Once we bring up command prompt, we should be doing this step. This is why you installed git, that git file is to grab these, right? So git clone, there we go, and we're going to install this file. Basically, this is how we install Comfyui+Manager, or as well as like anything you want to install from git into whatever directory you want to put in. So now we got Comfyui up. We want to go ahead and go into the folder Comfyui directory, which is right here. And usually you'll install in requirements, right? But before we install any requirements, the first thing we want to do is go into the directory with what do you call 'em? CMD. So just go. We want to type cd space comfy. Oh my god, my eyes. Sorry, my eyes, like, it feels like it's got something behind it. Comfyui. So now that we're in the Comfyui directory, which is basically where the requirements are now. Now we want to create a virtual environment. And what a virtual environment basically does is keeps all the dependencies we install to run this program directly in this Comfyui folder, this directory. It's not going to bother other like directories like my Koya SS or my checkpoint, or no, I mean my AI toolkits, which also requires some of the same directories. Like, say for instance you're installing PyTorch, and this PyTorch uses a different PyTorch than this one, they're not going to conflict each other. So this is basically running a Windows program, and you know how Windows installs right into its own directory and all that. That's basically what all this does in a sense. So let's go back into Comfyui. So we're going to start our virtual environment. How do we create that virtual environment? We need to type in Python. Oh, we need to install Python, which you installed earlier, to basically creates an environment. So we're gonna go Python. We want to make the VNV or VNV virtual environment, and then we want to call our virtual environment whatever. So I call mine usually Comf for short, for Comfy, obviously, with VNV. So I know it's a virtual environment, and then I hit enter, and that's how you create a virtual environment. So what this does is, like I said, allows you to just keep your dependencies into this directory alone, and only this directory, where it doesn't conflict with other directories. And in order to run this virtual environment, to do that, we also need to type in conf, basically what you called your virtual environment folder, conf venv slash, because if we follow this, right? So we're basically saying, well, let's go here, conf venv, my virtual environment. We're going to say scripts, right? So we go into scripts. That's what we type next is scripts slash, and we want to run this file up at the top here, which is activate. So that's how we activate our virtual environment. You can just do this from the main directory of Comfy or Comfy UI. You don't have to go right to this one. You can go right to this one, then you backslash or cd ... twice to get back into the Comfy folder. But anyways, so after we do that, we just type in activate and we activate. Now we're in our virtual. We are in our virtual environment. Now, what we want to do now is basically install this requirements, and which basically has all these dependencies in it: torch, SD, blah blah blah. So I don't want to install these bottom three because they're not needed. So I'm just gonna hashtag them out, which basically nulls them out, so they will not be installed. Save that. And how do we install these dependencies using the requirement? So we want to go pip install. This is how you install dependencies, is always pip install. And then for this one, we're going to go -r for requirements. And then you also want to put the ending of it, txt. And then once you do that, just go ahead and click enter. And then it's going to start installing all the dependencies for this folder alone. And yeah, so once it's done, we'll be right back. All right, so now that our dependencies are done being installed, I'm just going to update my pip install. So I'm going to control C this to copy it, and then I'm just going to right click to paste it and do that. All right, so now that this pip install, upgrade for my pip install is good. So now that we got all the requirements done, we can go ahead and close this because we're all done here. So now the next thing we need to do is basically run main.py. That's how we run Comfy UI. It's main.py. And we can just go ahead and do that by getting out of our, we don't want to do this in virtual environment. We want to do it in non-virtual environment. So we just go start up a new CMD prompt here. And then we're going to go Python, basically saying Python, run this main.py script, which is Comfyui. And once we do that, we should be able to go here. There we go, using PyTorch cross, blah, blah, blah. All right, so there we go. So I'm just doing left or control, double click left, and then control C it to copy it on Windows 10. Windows 11, you don't have to do any of that. So we can go ahead and just go here and look at that. You guys are installed with Comfyui. Amazing, isn't it? That was quick and easy. Now for step 2, which is basically Comfyui+Manager. And this one is basically going to be the same thing. We're going to go to code here. Going to do this. You're going to do this for most custom nodes if you're doing them manually. But once you get Comfyui+Manager, you're going to be doing it within Comfyui itself. So to get Comfyui+Manager, you just want to go in here. You want to go to custom nodes. We can close this directory. We don't need that open, right? I think it's closed. Yeah, we did. All right. So once you're in here, you're basically going to do the same thing. CMD. Open this up. We're going to git clone, control V to paste it, and there we go. We got Comfyui+Manager. Easy. Now that we're done here, we basically just want to go cd ... to go back. And now we're in our main directory. So we can go Python again, main.py. And once we do that, we're going to get this again. Now it's going to tell us it's installed. Comfyui+Manager right here. Import, it's all good. There's no import failed on it, so we are good. Just going to control and then double click that again. And then control C once it's highlighted and go back into here. And paste and go. So now we got Comfyui+Manager right here. And it's all up to date because it's the newest Comfyui+Manager. It will support Flux, which a lot of you will be using. There will be a Flux tutorial on how to install Flux and all that as well. And yeah, so now that we got all this done, let's go ahead. We can close all this out now. Our next step and our final step is to create a comfyui.bat file, right? So we want to go back to the Comfyui directory. And I'm just going to open up this Notepad++ here. And basically, you want to put your directory to wherever you put your Comfyui folder, right? So if I'm in this main directory, my main.py files here, I basically just want to right click my, highlight up here, right click my directory like here. Then I would just copy it, and then I would just go where this is. I would just paste it right there, right? And you just want to put at echo space off cd, which is your directory, Python. You're basically saying Python run this main.py, and that's it. And then we want to go to file, save as. We're going to call it Comfyui, and it's going to be a batch file, right? So you want to save this basically in your Comfyui directory, which is right here. So save. So now that it should be in here, Comfyui, you just want to go here and then, create a desktop shortcut. I don't think I need it though. So what this does now is you could just basically put it on your desktop and boom, you can start Comfyui just like that. So I hope this tutorial helps you guys. I hope it helps a lot of you beginners out there that don't understand this, and me trying to explain kind of what it does. I'm not an expert in this yet. I'm still learning a lot with you guys as well as I go along. But yeah, our next video going to be up, I think, might be how to install Flux, because that's a whole different thing, and how to install it. It's super simple as well. Once you start getting these pip installs down, or you know what I mean, it's or how to install custom nodes. It gets easier and easier as it goes along. Yeah, but anyways, that's it, guys, for this tutorial. Hope you guys liked it, enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. That's all I ask. Subscribe, follow, you know, follow, and then I'll just do more and more tutorials as we go along. Anyways, that's it, guys, for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am out.